Hi all, my name is Manny. I'm a physical therapist and majority of my clients are tech workers, and I just wanted to show you tech workers some stretches that you should do before and after your workday to really help yourself out, because your job is quite tasking on your body. So in this video, I'm purely going to focus on lower body stretches, and then my next video will focus on upper body stretches. So for lower body stretches, one of the first things that you should do before you sit down on your computer is to stretch out the glutes. Now you don't want to go into, you don't want to get up right away and just go sit down on the computer. I'm willing to bet that that's what a lot of you do, but what you actually want to do is to get into Pigeon Pose to stretch out the glutes. Now this is very vital and important because it helps stretch out your butt muscle. I'm gonna switch to my other side so you can see my left glute stretching out here. It helps stretch out the butt muscles, and this is really one of the best things that you would do to light up your butt muscles. And when I say light up, you'll turn on all these proprioceptive or mechanisms to help your glutes feel like it is alive, because essentially when you sit down, your glutes are going to be a bit malnourished because you're going to be in a constrained position for a long time, and then the amount of blood flow that will go into that area will not be as much, again because of that constrained position. So you want to be here for about 30 to 40 seconds. If you find this to be particularly challenging, then I would advise that you do a modification of this, either a figure 4 stretch laying on your back, or being in this upright position but having the side of your leg on top of a chair while standing up to get a similar glute stretch. Again, about 40 seconds a couple of times first in the morning, and then definitely do it at the end of the day as well. The second thing that you want to stretch out is the hips. Now with the hips here, you want to get into a kneeling quad stretch. Now ideally you should either be on a yoga mat or you should grab a pillow to place your knee up upon. So let me grab one for myself. There we go. So pillow, have your foot up on the wall, and then come into a kneeling quad stretch. Now this is also a good one to open up the front of your hips, because when you get into that constrained sitting position, these hips will be fixed in a position where the hip flexors can become tight, and that's when you can become sensitive to front hip pain or sometimes low back pain as well. So get into a quad stretch. I'm gonna turn onto this side so you get an idea of what my leg is doing. So kneeling, my leg is up on the wall, and then I'm standing as tall as possible to get the front of my hips to stretch out. The butt is squeezed, the core is squeezed, so that my shoulders, hips, and the knee are pretty much in line. 40 seconds, a couple rounds of this in the morning and at the end of your workday would be excellent to stretch out the front of the hip. The third stretch that I would recommend is opening up your pelvis, especially the adductors. They also can tend to get tight when you're sitting for a long time, and then when at the end of your day, when you want to become an athlete, it becomes difficult to open up your hips for cutting motions, and then at that point you can put yourself at risk for injury. So you want to make sure that your hips you can open up the hips and your adductors are flexible. So you can do this one of a couple ways. You can get into either a kneeling side lunge position here, and then just allow your hip flexors to open up and get a decent stretch through the inner thigh. But one way that I personally like to do this stretch is to get into a split stance and then shift my weight on one side and just pulse towards that side for about 40 seconds or so for a couple rounds to help open up my adductors. The fourth stretch, the last stretch, would be the hamstring stretch. Again, this would be an excellent one to do. So here, you're going to be in a slightly bent position here. You want your foot to be pointed up. Hook your heel down and press into your heel and allow your hamstring to engage here. Make sure that you're slightly flexed, or rather flexed at the hips, to get a hamstring engagement here. Now you can pulse up and down here. You can stay here if you choose, or you can rotate the foot side to side here if you choose for about 40 to 60 seconds. Or you can mix all of these up to get a healthy hamstring stretch. And I believe that going through all this stretch routine, making a routine out of this, in the mornings will be excellent to get your body warmed up for sitting for a long day. And of course, I have a video on stretches that you should do during your long day to help you out. So thank you for watching. Hopefully you found this helpful. If you have any questions, feel free to comment down below, and I'll see you all in my next video about stretches that you should do for the upper body.